If our military is going through a transformation in how it relates to the rest of the world, it's going through a revolution in how it deals with itself.
When you're standing side by side in life or death situations next to other warriors, you have to know in the bottom of your soul that those warriors are going to stand with you.
Mike Waltz, a former Special Forces company commander, as well as a special advisor to Vice President Cheney, is referring to what is sometimes called the warrior culture.
Watch each other's back. You have to have that bond, and anything that interferes with that bond needs to be treated very, very, very carefully.
Which is why some critics of Barack Obama oppose and fear the way the president utilizes the armed forces. They feel he's more comfortable with social change than military command.
This president has imposed a political agenda on the military.
Elaine Donnelly is president of the Center for Military Readiness.
He has done it by redefining the military as a civil rights institution rather than the institution that defends this country.
You wrote that President Obama showed real passion on only one issue concerning the military: his determination to overturn Don't Ask, Don't Tell. What do you mean by that?
This was one area where I saw him become angry when things weren't moving as quickly as he wanted them to move. I didn't see that anger at the lack of progress on really any other issue that I dealt with, certainly.
Ending Don't Ask, Don't Tell was one of the first social changes imposed on the U.S. military by the Obama administration, but it was hardly the last. Recently at Fort Gordon, Georgia, hundreds of soldiers were summoned to a PowerPoint presentation about white, male, heterosexual privilege and the need to discuss oppression and the patriarchy. And then there was an exercise required of some ROTC cadets just last year.
And we've heard some interesting things. The fact that male ROTC cadets were pressured by the military to walk around college campuses in women's high heels in order to demonstrate their disapproval of the quote-unquote rape culture.
I found that entire incident just kind of bizarre. When I was an ROTC cadet, I was doing push-ups and running till I threw up if my boots weren't shined to the level that they needed to be.
Even more controversially, on December 3rd, 2015, the Obama administration removed all restrictions on women serving in ground combat units.
They'll be able to serve as Army Rangers and Green Berets, Navy SEALs, Marine Corps Infantry, Air Force parajumpers, and everything else that was previously open only to men.
By opening that door, you're simply saying, if that's something that you're interested in doing, here are the standards.
Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, a member of the Hawaii Army National Guard, served 2 tours in Iraq.
If you meet those standards, then you should be allowed to serve there, whether you're a man or a woman.
But critics say it's not that simple.
The idea that men and women are interchangeable, especially at that much higher level of the combat arms, it's utterly absurd.
Sergeant Jude Eden served with the 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force in Fallujah.
The standards will be lowered, either formally or informally. There is no such thing as gender neutral. The sexes are not neutral.
Congresswoman Gabbard contends that by lifting the combat restriction, the military is simply recognizing reality.
Women have been serving incredibly and courageously in our military for a very long time. We've seen over a decade ago a woman who's actually in the National Guard was awarded the Silver Star for her bravery in close quarters combat.
A lot of the advocates for women in combat say women have been fighting in combat for decades, it's just not true. I was out there with the infantry on the outskirts of Fallujah, and we would frisk women for explosives. We were in danger all day, every day that we were doing that. That is not the same as hunting the enemy where he lives, house to house, cave to cave, mostly on foot.
Critics also point out that under the new law, women will be ordered into combat, whether they want to be or not.
I'm sorry, but America needs to think about their daughter in a hand-to-hand fight in a cage, no rules, against ISIS fighters.
When the Army did an official survey, the results came back that 92.5% of the Army women surveyed wanted nothing to do with combat assignments.
What concerns me with this administration in dealing with this warrior culture. It's so critical to the success of our military. They don't understand it, and oftentimes they mistrust it. If you turn the military into kind of a social experiment rather than a fighting force that has to meet certain standards and have a certain level of readiness to defend this nation, that's incredibly dangerous for the United States, and frankly, as the leader of the free world, it's dangerous for the world.